So we've got upgrade packs coming this week, including Serie and NWSL packs, so let's go through all the upgrades you can go for. So just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch for the cheapest trading guides out there for just £4, €4, all free with Amazon Prime. You'll receive daily trading and investing guides covering PlayStation, Xbox and PC with an array of methods covering all budgets. And I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million in multiple different FIFAs, and now for the last 4 years I've made 10 million coins in just the first month. So in today's video we're going to cover all the investments that you guys can go for the NSL and Serie A packs this week. On top of this, we'll kind of be covering also stuff you can start buying, preempting the upgrade packs we get for Ultimate Team of the Season, which is going to be the weekend after, because FLAIR did very, very well during that week. So this week, what we'll expect to get is either the 10 times 83 or go and get ourselves the 5 times 87. The reason for that is because we got the double 86 this week. And the requirements for those are normally just an 83 rate score with either a Team of the Week or Team of the Season. So the investments for those aren't too good, but what they do start to do is they do start to make 83s rarer as they deplete the supply because they're being used for them every day. So it's not going to be crazy money on that, but what there could be decent money on this week is going to be the Icon SBC, which we expect to go and get on the Sunday. That's not guaranteed because this week we've had both an Icon and a Hero, meaning we're not quite sure what we're going to go into next week, because normally it's just either an Icon SBC and then it'll be a Hero the following week, or it'll be a Hero SBC with an Icon the following week. Whereas this week we're not too sure because we've had both, so we'll see. If it's an Icon SBC, fodder traditionally does a lot better, even basically across the board, low rated fodder, high rated fodder does better. That's because Icon SBCs are more desired than Hero SBCs, whereas if it's a Hero SBC, there is a higher chance for fodder to not really do well, and you just see smaller profits. But because again we got a Hero and an Icon last week, we're not too sure. So you make money one way or the other. It's either if you just make really good money or you make meh money. So there's a few different avenues we're going to be looking through. We're going to be looking for going for Team of the Seasons as an investment for Team of the Seasons being needed for upgrades, on top of that they're already being very well demanded player SBCs. We'll be looking at buying low rated fodder. So first off, we covered this in yesterday's video about buying Team of the Seasons, but just in case you missed it, basically Team of the Seasons are expected to do really well during Ultimate Team of the Season, and the reason for this is because they're needed for loads of upgrade SBCs, but Ultimate Team of the Season only has like big players in packs, and because there's only big players in packs, it means there's no cheap ones to put into the SBCs. So to start off with, we're going to talk about investing in Team of the Seasons, and again, Team of the Seasons, if they don't do well this week, will do extremely well next week. I'll be honest with you, they're already up like 2-3k from the video I made yesterday, but there is still some angles you guys can go and invest in. For example, the 91s aren't as inflated. We'll look at Bentalab just so we can show you what he was previously. So Bentalab did get down to 21k, and right now you can go and get yourself 91s for 21k. So even though the discount ones, so for example like Budegaard, who did get down to about 17k, who's about 19k now, you can go and buy stuff like 91s who aren't inflated. Now again, these players could be used for the Icon pack, and the last time they were needed for the Icon pack, they did very, very well. But basically the Icon pack last time made these Team of the Seasons rise from about 18k all the way up to 22k. Hopefully this will show right here. There you go, all the way from 18k all the way up there to 26k. So this is why this is why Team of the Seasons are a good investment, because the last time they were needed for a well-demanded Icon pack, they did very well. But I did kind of cover all of this and a few more in yesterday's video, so we won't go on about that too much. What we'll be talking about in today's video is investing in the low-rated fodder. Most specifically one of the things we'll talk about is investing in the low-rated fodder. This can be 84s and 85s. This is because these guys don't really get used for the Icon SBCs, but what they can do is they can be used for the midweek upgrades. We can see last week, the SBC that came out on the Tuesday, which I believe would have been the 85 player pick, ended up rising fish lot from 1.2k all the way up there to 2k. And if we look at the daily, we can also see like 2 weeks ago, we can see they went from 1.3 up there to 1.9. 2 weeks prior to that, 1.5 up there to 2.7. Now, because they do rise every other week, it isn't the most favourable for them, because you could argue, well, we're going to have one of these naff weeks, because normally what we do is we get a very good week, then we get a meh week. And obviously last week was quite a decent week, so there's a bit of favourite for this week to be a bit of a meh week. But at 1.2k, you can't really go wrong. And if they don't do well this week, then they'll go and do well for next week's Ultimate Team of the Season. Stuff that's a little bit more consistent are the 85s. You can see the 85s basically are rising every single week. We do get the odd off week, and arguably even last week was an off week. But yeah, again, these are looking very, very good. At the moment, they're down to 3.5. Now, they have been lower they were lower 2 weeks ago than they were now. But the argument is that we've had really well-demanded player SBCs on the Friday. Traditionally, we don't get very well-demanded player SBCs on the Friday, which normally allows fodder to go down. But because we've got ourselves Lookman, we've got ourselves Renato Sanchez, we've got ourselves Rodman, which in comparison to the Friday SBCs we normally get are significantly way demanded. I mean, it's very rare you'll go and get player SBCs on a Friday that are both 95 plus or 94 plus upvote rates. So yeah, it doesn't really seem there's much room for this low rated fodder to go down because of the time it would go down. What's it called? The SBCs have been active. But yeah, Trippier, as I say, I wouldn't mind buying him up to 3.5k. If they really don't do well this week, then they'll do well next week for Ultimate Team of the Season. Now moving on to stuff a little bit higher rated. Now these are unlikely to be needed for the low rated upgrade and more player SBCs and icon SBCs. And that brings us through to the 86s and 87s. What's quite nice of the 86s is they are significantly cheaper than what they were earlier in the week. But they have been cheaper before. We start off here with, again, you can go and buy any 86s, with Trent. Yeah, I mean, for 2 weeks in a row now, he's had pretty decent rises, 3.7 up there to around about 4.6. And then the second week, going back down there to 3.7 and moving his way up there to 6k. Now moving on to another player who, again, would really just be used for the icon SBCs, and that is Ubadov. The only problem is you've kind of really missed the optimal time. The optimal time investing in these cards is always 8 PM to 10 PM. Yeah, I didn't have a video for it, but I think every single week we've had videos talking about buying fodder at about 10 PM. So it's still not too bad, because if we go and bring it back down to here, where they went from 6.5, they got down there to 5.2, but if you're buying this sort of time of the day where they're 5.7, you can still see that they had a decent rise, and you know, they had a decent rise the weekend after. So even if you don't get the lowest point, it doesn't mean there's no profit on these cards. And like I say, if they don't do well this week, then for Ultimate Team of the Season, fodder is expected to do really, really well because of all the upgrade packs we get in addition to the Team of the Season. That basically is going to go and wrap it up. Now the Team of the Seasons, the sell time on these cards could be Friday before 6 PM if they have a decent rise. If not, again, for Ultimate Team of the Season last year, they went from 20k all the way up to 60k in 2 weeks. So it might be just a 2 to 3 week hold if you want to triple your coins on such an easy investment. Regarding the cheap stuff, you always go and sell it Wednesday after 6 PM content, because the Thursday's Division Rival Awards goes and drops them. And because it goes and drops the gold fodder, obviously you want to go and sell them on the Wednesday. Now, if they don't do that well this week, they could still drop a little bit on the Thursday. But there is an argument to go and hold on to them and gamble on them doing well for Ultimate Team of the Season. So if you, let's say, buy hundreds of a player and can't be asked selling them, you will be expected to see a bit of a drop on the Thursday. But unless you can be asked to go and sell and buy back on the drop, which, again, if they don't even rise that much, probably wouldn't be worth your time, then just hold through to Ultimate Team of the Season, where, again, we get guaranteed Team of the Season and Team of the Season moment packs. That wraps that up. That's just kind of like the educated way of investing in fodder. It's like you invest in fodder and you invest in as that out-of-pack investment. If you've got dual utility, then if they don't do well for one thing, well, then they should do well for the next. But that is going to go and wrap that up. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.